there, it's Jen Ferguson with Artistic Painting Studio, and today I've got a fun project. Found a pair of Steve Madden little sandals here that need an update. They're kind of boring, so let's go foil them. Okay, guys, we have our pair of Steve Madden shoes here. I'm sorry, it just seems like it's a little dark and you guys can't see the design on these, but it has two straps across the top, and that's the only part that I'm planning on foiling. We are going to use our Artsyville Embellishments foil adhesive for this project. And the first thing that I'm going to do is grab some of our 91% isopropyl alcohol and clean off the shoe, okay? I've already have it in the spray bottle, so I'm just going to spray some on my paper towel and then just clean off the surface. Now, I did look at the manufacturer information on these shoes, and it just says it's a synthetic. So I'm not sure. It's some kind of synthetic material, which I'm assuming it's kind of a plastic. So we're going to give this a good go and see if we can make this work, okay? And hopefully our adhesive will bond well to the surface. So I'm going to pour a little bit more adhesive out on my sticky plate, which is a great place, you guys, to always work from, okay, instead of trying to work out of your jar. Okay, I'm going to do the bottom part first because that way I can kind of pull that away from the top while it's drying, okay, and kind of keep it so it doesn't stick to the top section. Okay, so let's get this started. Okay, I'm not taping anything off. I'm just going to try to have a nice hand here where I'm not shaking, and just try to cut in a nice clean line, okay, and apply our foil adhesive to the surface. The great thing is that the adhesive does tack up normally in about 15 minutes or so, but even though it's tacked up that quick, and you'll see it's going on milky white and shiny, okay, I would going to let this dry for hours and maybe even overnight, considering it is some kind of a synthetic material and it's a plastic filling. So the longer I let this dry, the better chance we're going to have for great adhesion, okay? And I'm trying to keep this bottom section away from the top section by just putting a little bit of pressure on there. And hopefully they start to tack up a little bit, and then I can let that go. Just trying not to get the top and the bottom stuck against each other. A little tricky, okay, but I think it's going to be worth it. As I indicated, your adhesive will go on milky white from the container, and it dries clear and shiny. The longer you can allow it to dry, the better, and especially on a project like this where we know this is some kind of man-made plastic type material, that letting it dry overnight is definitely going to be best for our foil transfer. And then once we do transfer the foil, we will seal everything and protect, okay? So trying to make sure they're not going to touch each other, and we'll just let this dry and we'll be back when it's ready. Okay, our foil adhesive has dried and we're ready to go on this. Now, I've made this project a little tricky for myself because I probably should have done one strap at a time, but we're going to try to do the bottom strap first, okay, and then the second, the top one. So I have picked our leopard bronze for this, and I'm just going to cut strips because this should be plenty to do both of the straps on this sandal, okay? Oops, I already got stuck on there. Okay, so I'm going to push the bottom one down and try, oops, looks like it already grabbed one spot, okay. I'm gonna try and get that across before it's stuck anywhere. Okay, so now that I do have that one in position, we can go ahead and do the top one and put that on. So this should work pretty good. Okay, I'm going to use my little nail scrub brush. You can use a nail scrub brush. You can use a toothbrush. Whatever you have that's a nice stiff bristle brush, okay? Because a stiff bristle is always going to work absolutely best. Okay, let's scrub the bottom one as well. Okay, my toothbrush is going to work better on the bottom, making sure I'm trying to get everywhere in here, okay? Using my hand as a little bit of a resist. Okay, let's take a peek under here, okay? I'm just trying to critique as I'm removing it. Okay, definitely need a little bit more transfer over here. I think that's where it grabbed it on the other side, but I'm just going to use a fresh piece, okay, and then the corner. I didn't get that one completely. This pattern actually repairs really easily, so it's not like going to be hard if a little piece doesn't stick or transfer well, that you can go back and add a little bit more. Okay, I'm just critiquing because the top one I can see better. I have a couple areas where I had a little crinkle. Just going back and scrubbing on those. And woohoo! Look how fun those are going to be. Okay, so now we have, instead of just a simple black sandal, we've got something with a little bit of bling. Okay, so to protect these, we're going to use our final coat in semi-gloss because I don't want to dull the foil down. I'm just going to pour some out onto a foam plate and brush this on. Now the reason why we recommend the final coat is because it stays flexible, which is very important working on something that is a flexible surface to begin with. You don't want to put any kind of a top coat on here that would possibly get hard and stiff. Okay, I'm going to work on the bottom section first. It is just one light coat because this is supposed to go on super thin. And once you have a coat of this on here, it only will take about 10 to 20 minutes for it to dry because it dries pretty darn quick. I would advise putting on about 3 or 4 coats just to protect, build up a nice protective layer, and these sandals will be good for quite a while to wear. So that is it, guys, okay? So remember, not just one coat. Make sure you build up your layers and do about 3 to 4 coats, and these will be done. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. This has been a super fun makeover for a pair of shoes, and I hope that you will find time to give your shoes a new life as well. So for a full list of all the materials and supplies, just check the description below and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming tutorials.